As the old saying goes, hell have no fury like a woman scorned. Hey, what's up, you guys? Film Fan 0599 here again, and today we're going to review Revenge. So, Revenge stars Matilda Brent, and what this film is basically about. It's about when, this woman named Jen, she's on a business trip, and what happens is she gets brutally raped and murdered while she's on this business trip, and now, basically, she's not dead. So now she's going to take, revenge on those that, raped and murdered her. So, what did I think of Revenge? Now, I didn't know much about the movie going into it. I heard some things here and there about it, but, I didn't really know what the full plot of it was. So I was pretty much going into this movie somewhat blind. And I'm kind of glad I did because I quite liked Revenge a lot. Revenge is actually a really good movie, honestly. I actually quite like this film a lot. It's a very different and unique take on the revenge genre, I guess you would say, honestly. And I quite liked a lot of its directions and where it went and stuff. It was actually quite an enjoyable movie. I actually quite liked Revenge a lot. So let's get to my positives with Revenge. And my positives are, first being, the acting. The acting is actually really good in this movie. I thought everyone did a solid job in this film. Matilda Brent, she was great in the film. I thought she actually gave a really solid performance and was really badass in the film, honestly. Like, she was really good in this movie. I actually thought she did quite an excellent job in this movie and really brought a lot to her character, in my opinion. I actually quite liked her a lot. And like I said, she's very badass in the movie too, and I quite liked her a lot, honestly, in this movie, and really brought a lot to her character, and she was quite fantastic in the movie. And everyone else does a really good job too in the film as well. I thought everyone was really good in this movie. Very limited of characters, but I did think that everyone did a solid job in the film. The action sequences are really good too. I thought whenever, the action sequences happen and stuff like that, I thought they were pretty well handled, pretty well filmed and stuff like that. I thought they did an overall solid job with the action sequences. And I quite liked them a lot in this movie, honestly. I thought the action sequences were very good in my opinion. I liked the stylistic portion with this movie. It was kind of really cool how they stylistically did this film and stuff like that. Which makes it kind of different from a lot of action films and stuff like that. Like, very, very stylistic points and stuff like that they would do with the movie, and I actually quite like that, honestly. And for the most part, I actually thought it was really cool what they did with this movie. It was really, very mesmerizing to see and very, interesting to see like that. I thought they did a very solid job with that type of stuff in the film. I thought they did an absolutely good job with it, honestly. The music is really good too. I thought the music was actually really cool with this movie. I thought, the way that the music was handled in this film was really good in my opinion. I actually quite liked the music a lot in this film. I will say this, the last 30 minutes of this movie, awesome. Definitely one of the best finales I've seen all year, to be honest with you. So awesome and so pure badass. The writing is really good with the movie too. I thought the writing was pretty solid. The directing is really great with this movie too. I actually thought this movie was very well shot, very well edited. The cinematography was very beautiful with the film. So yeah, overall I thought the directing was really good, and this is from a first-time director, I forgot the woman's name and I do apologize, but she did an absolutely great job directing this film, honestly. Did an absolutely amazing job directing the film. She was great, honestly, and, for a first-time director, did a really fantastic job. And the pacing for the most part too was really good. I'll get more into that, but after a certain point in the film, the movie moved at actually a nice fast pace, and I thought it did, move pretty fast and was really good in my opinion. I thought the pacing, honestly, for the most part, was really good in my opinion. Now, I do have a couple negatives with the film, and my only negatives with the movie are, first being, I did think the first, 20, kind of, just the first half of the movie, just, at the start of it was kind of slow. But once the certain thing happens, it gets going, I mean? It gets going and it moves along pretty nicely. But at first, I was kind of just a little bit bored with the movie. At first, it was just kind of a little bit, I was like, okay, it's kind of starting off just a little bit boring, honestly. But besides that, the movie does get going at a nice pace. So, yeah, at first, the movie just kind of moves at slow at first. Some of the artistic stuff that they kind of do at points kind of came off a little bit too artsy-fartsy in my opinion at times. Like I get what you're trying to do, but there were some points where I felt like some of the artistic stuff that they tried to do with this movie came a little bit too artsy-fartsy at times, but only some of them. And lastly, I kind of thought the ending was a little bit too abrupt. Not necessarily awful like some other movies, but it kind of just it was just oh, there you go, it ends. I just didn't think the way that they handled it, the editing with it and stuff like that, was kind of not that well handled with it in my opinion. I thought they could have done a better job with that. So yeah. But other than that, I thought Revenge was a very solid revenge movie. I actually quite like this film a lot. It's very stylistically nicely filmed, has some great action scenes, has a great badass female heroine and stuff like that. I thought, they did an absolutely fantastic job with this movie. I quite liked Revenge a lot. So it's time for my official grade on Revenge, and my official grade on Revenge is a B+. Like I said, really solid film. I quite liked it a lot. Definitely you should check this movie out. If you're a fan of the revenge genre, this is definitely a nice, unique take on it, and I quite liked it a lot, and I think you will too. So, yeah, Revenge definitely gets a B+. So, if you have seen Revenge, what did you think of it? Please leave in the comment section below. I'm FilmFan0599, and we proceed to give out later. Peace.